Hey, welcome to Fun Friday with Pastor Josh. Fun is something that provides mirth or amusement, enjoyment or playfulness. We're going to talk about what fun looks like today and maybe even get into some fun on this edition of Fun Friday. Hey, welcome to our Fun Friday podcast. I have Heather Baird here with me. A few weeks ago, well, maybe almost a month now, I had her husband here. He was telling us about a commercial he'd seen from Black Rifle Coffee Company about We Own the Night. And so he did such a great job, really, sharing about what the Lord had laid on his heart. And so I thought it'd be fun to have Heather, his wife, who's one of our deacons here at the church, along with her husband. And so I'm just going to ask her some questions. We did this a few weeks ago, maybe even a couple months ago now, where we had some people on that we just asked some random questions so we can get to know them a little bit. And so I have a list of questions here that I'm going to ask Heather, and she's ready to go. And so, Heather, what's your favorite color? I know we start out with the crazy ones first, you know.
And that's a really hard one for me. I like so many colors, and especially this time of year, you know, you see all the flowers and combinations of flowers, or the brand new greens in the spring. It's really hard. I keep trying to find a favorite, but I love so many.
Well, you spend so much time decorating and doing flowers and stuff, and I don't know that I've noticed any particular colors that have really stood out, but so I can see where that'd be hard.
I have noticed, I do kind of like that peachy corally color, and I tend to gravitate there on some, like I noticed a few out there in the decorating, but now I saw a lady's hanging basket, and it was purple and orange, and it was so beautiful. So I don't know.
It might just depend on the day, too, right?
Maybe so.
Well, what's your favorite thing to do outside? Which I guess we kind of talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I mean, doing flowers and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I do. I really enjoy the flowers and the yard work and walking and just being out there. It's just good being out in nature for sure.
Well, we don't have a whole lot of time here in Chinook, Montana, that we get to hang out outside. You know, we have winter for 6 months of the year, it feels like. So what do you do, you know, like what do you like to do on the inside, I guess, you know, when you're cooped away for 6 months?
I know. Well, this year we've done a lot of crafts, you know, for the coffee shop, and that has really been fun. I just enjoy creating things, you know, so I spend a lot of time doing that, reading, and this year we've watched a lot of YouTube teaching videos and things, and I really love that as well. So.
Well, and I'm sure your husband loves a lot of that too, because I know you keep him busy.
Yeah.
Now that he's retired, he's really ramping up his work schedule.
Yeah.
You know, getting stuff done.
That's been the great thing, you know, now that he's retired. We love a lot of the same things, you know, so we can do crafts together, we like to walk together. He helps me with he waters the front, I water the back with the flowers, you know, so yeah, it's great to have a companion.
Yeah, you guys gel really well together. Yeah, that's good. Well, what is your favorite thing to learn about? Is there something like a subject of some kind or a specific thing?
Oh, I just love studying the Word and doing different Bible studies or reading books, you know, I have a hard time doing anything else, but
Do you ever feel like you're overwhelmed by all the learning that you're doing? You ever have to take a break and just say, that's enough, I gotta...
Well, I have to say when everything happened this year with the COVID and the shelter in place and all, it was kind of nice, you know, just to breathe a sigh and just take a break, you know, but then after a while you want to get back into things, so it was good to have a break, but I don't know, we find ourselves kind of pressing in and continuing to study and read together, and we like to read books together, so.
Which is kind of rare. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of couples that really do that. You know, I think Christy and I have tried that from time to time, but, you know, our schedules are so wonky with each other, you know. It's been really hard to do that. Maybe that's a little envious of me. Yeah, it's like, man, you guys are able to get up and read books together. And you guys have done that. I mean, I know you guys have read books and given them back to me like, hey, we read through this.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty amazing. I love that. Well, what's one of your favorite places that you've been?
Oh, man.
You guys have traveled quite a bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've been to India quite a few times, and and I've loved that. I found myself just trying to savor the smells and the sights and everything, and wondering, when you get to go, when will we ever get to go back again? India was a favorite. We earlier on, I did 3 trips as a non-Christian when I was kind of seeking some spiritual enlightenment, and but then as a Christian, I got to go back and do. We did a medical mission. There was a dozen of us from Chinook who went. I guess there was a doctor from out of town, but that was amazing. We did see even up to 900 people in a day, if you can imagine.
Wow.
And then we got to go back again and do cleansing stream with. We did 2 cleansing stream retreats with 25 pastors and their wives at
Wow.
each one. And that was really a blessing.
So how many times have you been to India then?
5.
Wow, 5. Wow, that's amazing. And you mentioned that you came out of Buddhism, right? Well, a form of that, or
Yeah, it wasn't Buddhism. Rahani Satsang was kind of the name of the group, but it was a guru who taught a certain type of meditation, and he would say, go to church and do this too, and that's what I was looking for. I mean, I had gone to church all my life and but wanted more. Yeah. I guess I see my life as kind of a spiritual quest, trying to draw closer to the Lord, and then when actually the guru died in 1974, and we kind of walked around like dead people for almost 25 years. Wow. Until I came to the Lord. I was going to church, but to actually encounter the Lord in that personal way was, it was really, really awesome. Changed my life forever. You just fall, head over heels in love, with Jesus.
Well, I love hearing your story too, because there's so much to it. We don't have time today to share all of it, like with any of us, but it's really cool to see how God is just, he led you kind of seeking, something, and he used another form of religion to bring you to the church, and then he shook all that loose.
Yeah.
And I love that, that Jesus is like, hey, I'm the only way,
yeah.
and I'm going to prove that to you, and he did it in such a gentle way. And so let me ask you, I guess, going into that, what's one of your favorite Bible stories that maybe has brought you through this time, this journey of faith? What's one that you kind of held on to, like, this is one of my favorites?
Yeah, well, I always loved Anna, because she got to stay in the temple and worship and pray, all the time. I just thought, wow, I always thought that would be the perfect job. And when I first got saved, I actually heard of somebody who got paid to be the intercessor for the church, and I thought, wow, would it get any better?
What a job!
Yeah, but I love the story too of Jehoshaphat, and when the enemy was coming to attack them, how he called the people to fasting and prayer, and then as they did that, the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jehaziel, I think it was, and he told them to, fear not, don't be discouraged, that the Lord, it's not your battle but the Lord's, and they just fell down and worshiped the Lord, and so when they were to go stand firm, go into battle the next day, but they put the worshipers in front, and the Lord set the ambushes, and so then when they arrived at the battlefield, all they saw was dead bodies. And I thought, there's such power in prayer and fasting and worship, and that story kind of shows it all. And even, I guess, with the story of Anna, and another favorite is the story of Mary anointing the feet of Jesus. It really is about the prayer and even Anna would fast and just worshiping the Lord. There's power in that. The enemy's defeated when we keep our focus on the Lord, you know, and He'll fight the battles for us.
Yeah.
Even in these tough times, you know, if we keep looking at Him, then we have that peace in the eye of the storm. And God is so faithful.
Yeah. Well, and you guys, I mean, I know you don't get paid to do it, you know, but you guys have been faithful to be here and pray, and I know you did that for many years before Lauren retired, and now you guys are able to come and do it together, and you guys have been doing that through COVID. Almost every day you guys have been here praying, you know, and I've seen you guys in here praying, and it's kind of a race to see who gets here first sometimes, and and I really love seeing that, you know, because it is the intercessory prayer that is really so important, you know, and praying and just seeking the Lord, and so it's been cool to see you guys doing that and being faithful to do that. Well, let's as we kind of start to wind down our interview today. Really important questions. What are some fun things that you and I have done together? We've been here, Christy and I have been here almost, 4 years now.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago it was 4 years. And so is there anything we've done? I've kind of asked that question to everybody that I've interviewed.
Yeah. Well, you know, of course, going to Israel was huge.
Yeah.
And I love that. And when I said I loved India, I also loved Israel and would love to go back again. But it was an experience that we shared together, and it was a first time for all of us.
For all of us, yeah.
And,
I'd never been.
No, and just to be where, you know, and walk where Jesus had walked, and to see the culture, the lifestyle, the hills, and the Sea of Galilee, and Jerusalem, and the temple. You know, it was just awe-inspiring, really, but I feel like we've just barely touched the surface of any, you know, they give you so much information, but you can only take in so much. And so I would love to go back again.
Yeah, well, and it was so fun doing that trip together with us and you guys, and yeah, it was a ton of fun. That's definitely a lot of memories.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, where do you want to go next? Is there any place that you and your husband have on the docket that you want to go?
Well, Hungry Horse.
Hungry Horse, yep, you guys are heading there, yeah?
We're going to explore Montana.
Yeah,
so
good.
we just are going for a few days, but I'm looking forward to that. And to really seek the Lord during that time, you know. What does the future hold for us, you know? We keep hearing that, you know, through this, everything we're going through now, that nothing's going to be the same, you know. And so what's it going to look like? And Lord, you know, what do you want us to be focusing on and doing? And yeah, there's a lot of questions. But as far as travel, I would love to go back to Israel for sure. And then we are planning, we'd love to go see our kids. We'd love to do a big tour go to see my kids in Reno, and then in Arizona, and then off to Texas to see Lorena and Zach and the new baby.
Yeah.
So those are exciting things as well.
It's fun to be able to have those kinds of things on the horizon.
Yeah,
and hopefully at some point we can do those kinds of travelings and, you know, and
yeah.
whatnot. Well, this is a fun question to end, and I ask everybody this, and I realize that a lot of the people I ask aren't children. But what do you want to be when you grow up? You know?
Well, you know what? When I was little, I wanted to be a missionary nurse, and I got to go once on a medical mission, and I loved my job, you know, at the clinic, but still that Anna, just, you know, I would, just love being in the church. I would love to see just great things happening in the church, people coming, getting saved, and just on fire for the Lord, you know. So I can't even.
Well, and you guys are kind of doing that. I mean, you're kind of living up to the Anna dream. You know, you and your husband. I mean, you'd be able to be here and be praying and putting your hands to that. And so in some ways, it sounds like you're kind of beginning to live out that dream, which is really awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today and hearing from Heather and just getting to know her a little bit. And look forward to seeing you with us this next week. We're going to be continuing through our book Unoffendable, which I believe these guys are going through.
We are, yeah.
The book by Brant Hansen, which has been so good.
Yeah.
And so continue to join with us in that journey. And we look forward to hearing how God has done some great things through your life as we've gone through that. So blessings on you. Thanks for joining us this week.